The Galactic Dominion had conquered 1,000 worlds across 3 spiral arms of the galaxy. Their method was always the same: arrive, demand surrender, and crush any resistance with overwhelming force. They had never failed until Earth. Captain Tom Reed stared at the tactical display aboard the ESS Defiant. 50 Dominion warships hung in orbit around Earth, their sleek, obsidian hulls absorbing sunlight rather than reflecting it. They had arrived 3 days ago with demands for immediate planetary surrender. "Status report," Reed said, his voice calm despite the weight of command. Lieutenant Anna Miller looked up from her console. "All ships report ready, sir. The Dominion fleet remains in standard formation. They've launched no additional shuttles since the ambassador's departure." Reed nodded. The Dominion's ambassador, a tall, gray-skinned being who called himself Drell, had been clear. Earth had 24 hours to surrender or face obliteration. That deadline had passed 2 days ago. What the Dominion didn't know was that Earth had been preparing for this moment for decades. First contact with alien life hadn't come from the Dominion, but from refugees fleeing their advance. The Lorithai, a peaceful spacefaring species, had crash-landed on Earth 15 years earlier. Only a dozen survived, but they brought with them technology and warnings. Earth's governments, for once united by a common threat, had worked in secret. While maintaining the appearance of a pre-spaceflight civilization, they had built a fleet unlike any the Dominion had faced before. "They're hailing us again, sir," Miller reported. "On screen," Reed ordered. Trell's face appeared, his 4 eyes blinking in sequence. "Your time has expired, humans. Your stubbornness is noted but futile. Our sensors detect no defense systems, no fleet. Your primitive weapons cannot harm our ships. Surrender now, and we will be merciful." Reed allowed himself a small smile. "We appreciate your patience, Ambassador Drell. Our leaders needed time to consider your generous offer. And your answer." Drell's voice carried the boredom of one who had heard surrender 1,000 times before. "Perhaps you should look out your window," Reed suggested. On the Dominion command ship, Drell turned to his viewport in time to see space itself seem to ripple and tear, where empty void had been moments before. 200 Earth ships now appeared, their hulls gleaming silver in the sunlight. Each bore the insignia of unified Earth, a blue sphere wrapped in olive branches. "Impossible?" Drell sputtered. "Our scans detected nothing." "Cloaking technology," Reed explained. "A gift from friends you thought you'd eliminated. We've had 15 years to improve upon it." Across the Dominion fleet, alarms blared as sensors finally registered the Earth Armada, now surrounding the invaders in a perfect sphere formation. On the Dominion flagship, Admiral Krav pushed past the stunned ambassador. "What trickery is this? No primitive world could hide such a fleet." Reed's expression remained neutral. "We're not as primitive as you assumed. We've monitored your communications, studied your tactics, and prepared accordingly. The Dominion has conquered worlds that couldn't fight back. We can." In the silence that followed, Reed transmitted targeting data to the Earth fleet. Each Dominion ship was now locked by multiple Earth vessels. "You have 1 hour to leave our solar system," Reed stated. "Any hostile action will be met with immediate response." The transmission cut. On the Dominion flagship, chaos erupted. "How did they build such ships without our knowledge?" Krav demanded of his science officer. "Unknown, Admiral," the officer replied, studying the scans. "Their technology appears to be a hybrid of multiple systems, some familiar, others I've never seen before. They've somehow merged Lorithai stealth systems with weapons that our sensors can't classify." Krav paced the command deck. The Dominion had conquered through fear and superior technology. "Neither advantage applied here. Prepare for combat," he ordered. "They may have ships, but they cannot have our experience. Target their largest vessel and fire on my command." Back on the Defiant, Reed watched the Dominion ships shift formation. "They're preparing to attack," he noted. "Predictable." General Mason's voice came through the comm system from Earth Command. "Remember the plan, Captain. Minimal casualties. We're not like them." "Understood, General." When the Dominion flagship fired, the brilliant energy beam sliced through space toward the Defiant. At the last moment, the Earth ship's defensive field activated. not to block the beam, but to redirect it. The Dominion's own weapon energy curved around the Defiant and split into dozens of smaller beams that disabled the weapon systems of 10 Dominion ships simultaneously. What just happened? Krav demanded as reports of disabled ships flooded in. They turned our weapon against us, his tactical officer stammered. Somehow they've developed energy reflection technology. On Earth, civilians watched the sky through telescopes and live streams. The Dominion had expected terror, panic, and eventual submission. Instead, they'd found a unified planet that had spent years preparing for this exact moment. 3 more Dominion attacks met with similar results. Each offensive move was countered with technologies specifically designed to exploit the Dominion's known warfare tactics. It was as if Earth had been studying them for decades, which, thanks to the Lorathi records, they had. After losing half their fleet's offensive capability without inflicting a single casualty on the Earth forces, Admiral Krav made an unprecedented decision. Retreat, he ordered. Full withdrawal from this system. As the remaining Dominion ships limped away, Reeb received congratulations from around the fleet, but he knew this was just the beginning. They'll be back, he told Miller, with a larger force. She nodded. But next time, we won't be alone. Already, across the galaxy, the news was spreading. Earth had repelled the Dominion. The supposedly invincible conquerors had been defeated not through superior numbers, but through preparation, innovation, and determination. For the first time in centuries, the oppressed worlds of the galaxy dared to hope. If Earth could resist, perhaps they could too. And Earth, having faced the darkness of space and found it less terrifying than imagined, began reaching out to those worlds. They expected no resistance until Earth's mightiest Armada arrived, and now the stars themselves would never be the same.